Hi guys, it's Sophie. So today I'm going to be doing a pretty chilled up video, just showing you guys some of my knitting things that I have finished and completed, and a little bit of my knitting stash. I may be interrupted as I film this, so if there's a break or if there's a change in outfit or whatever, please understand that I am just expecting to at some stage have to get up in the middle of this. So I don't have too much that I'm going to show you today, and most of them are blankets because for me, they're what I use the most. I used to knit a lot of scarves and gloves and hats, but the reality is I tend not to wear as many knitted scarves, whereas blankets I will use. So I have this great big one here, which is, I think it's called the Beekeeper's Quilt, and it's like a stuffed little thing. It's got a couple of holes that you might have spied, like here, that I need to stitch back up again. But this one sits on a sofa in the summer and it just sort of protects the sofa a little bit. I need to just reattach some bits just because it's general wear and tear, but I quite like this one in that when any bits of it break you can just repair them, and it's just nice to just sort of have around and sit on. It just is a bit comfier, and people are sleeping on the sofa, it's a bit more comfy than a leather one. And the next blanket, I swear down, is the warmest thing. I sleep in a room which has 3 external walls, and in the winter it gets pretty damn cold, and this is supposed to be like a baby blanket. It's huge. I hope you can see it, but it's like pom-poms the whole way around, and it's blue and white striped, and yeah, it's supposed to be for babies. It's baby wool, but it's really warm. If you're ever trying to find stuff that is really warm, baby wool tends to be warmer than any others and softer too, so this is the thing that saves me on winter nights, and it's super fluffy, and I just knitted in between each pom-pom. You don't have to do it quite like that, but I think it makes it look even and nice. But yeah, that's literally the warmest thing I own in the whole of my life, and it saves me pretty much every night at the minute. And the next one is kind of like a shawl one, and this one's really hard to show you nicely, but I will do my best. So you can kind of see that it is kind of circular, and it has these little beads the whole way through it and little holes. You can probably spy on camera. And this is actually the northern sky at night, where the central dot is the North Star, and the rest is the constellation on the date of my birth. And this took me absolutely forever. It's really tiny stitches, and to be honest, I don't use it all that much just because it's kind of precious now. But I do think it's absolutely stunning, and every now and again I will get it out and sit on my lap and just love it. I think it's really my favourite thing that I own that I've made, just because it did take so long and I'm so proud of how it came out. But yeah, I absolutely adore this one. I think it's such a cool idea, and it's so magical, it's just magic. And then I used to make a lot of little creatures, but I get bored of my creatures kind of quick and they recycle. But I have a little owl here that lives in my bedroom. He's kind of cute. I don't know, I don't really like the way his eyes came out, and his feet are kind of small, but whatever. He sits there and he does okay. I think I would prefer it if he had I don't know, bigger eyes maybe? I don't know. And then Felix, who I've never got bored of, even though his nose is wonky. Look how wonky his nose is. But yeah, he was crocheted, and I really don't crochet very often. He's just a cute little foxy thing, and he sits up and doesn't judge. I don't know, he's cute. I did have, like I say, a load more of these little creatures, but I get bored of them real quick, and they just get thrown away. It's been a while since I've made one actually, because they're the kind of thing you make in a couple hours. So yeah, I mean, they're kind of fun, for starter sort of knit and crochet stuff, because you don't have to have any great investment. It's not as though it spends loads of wool, and you get a relatively cute little thing pretty damn quick. Now, I'm not going to show you my jumper, which is the main piece I worked on clothing wise in the last year, just because I know you guys have seen it in a few videos already. It's the orangey one, which was the last big clothing piece I made, and I'm pretty proud of that one, to be honest. That's from Pearl Soho, and I'd like to make a lot more from there, because they do really nice modern knitting stuff, and often knitting is really granny style. And it's nice to have some stuff that isn't so old-fashioned. But yeah, I'm not working on anything at the minute. I tend to have one project each year that I will go through and do. So we'll see what next year brings, but those are what I finished at the minute. And I thought it could be fun just to show you a little bit of my stash. I'm just going to really run through them. I'm not going to be able to link all the kinds down below, but maybe if you are interested in any in the comments, I might be able to try and figure out where they're from. But these are if you guys have stashes, you know they build up over time, and you take away the labels, and this is years and years worth of stuff. rather than it being something that I've hauled, if that makes sense. But anyway, I thought it could be fun, so I'm going to show you some now. So I have a fair few like sock yarns of these really tiny, these ones are drops ones, and they kind of colour change. I really like these for like socks and stuff, so you'll see I have like loads, like I mean loads, of all of these kinds, which are, yeah, I mean most of them are either the Fable drops or Delight from Drops, and again they're just nice, and I mean you don't have to faff around with patterns, you can literally just start and stop and have like a fairly nice little thing quite quickly. So I think I bought just a pack a while ago. I have just a few like standard colours, like I like to have just a few so that when I make things that are like if I'm making something specific like the bird thing, that I can kind of pick and choose, so they aren't for anything in particular, they're just ones I think it's nice to have. So I've kind of got this goldy one, a red, a slightly different red, but I use red quite a lot, sort of turquoisey greeny one. I have these alpaca ones, which are Starcraft ones. I actually really like these, they're really soft. I've made a few pairs of gloves from these before. Tiny little merino one, just a nice orange. Another like sock yarn. This blue thing, which I loved when I had it, is one of my grandma's ones from her stash when she was like really young, but I loved it. I've used it I think on all my projects so far. Another little sock yarn. This blue stuff, there's a fair amount of these. They are the Rowan half merino half cotton, and I'm actually kind of working my way through a jumper in that, which is why there's so many. A nice like standard sort of teal sort of grey, taupey grey one. Again, it's just useful for like project work. We might make something with this in another video later, but we'll see how we get on. And I have two really fluffy ones, which are my other sort of potentials. These will murder all your sinuses, but two massively fluffy ones. I've not yet decided what I'm going to do with them. I've also got a little like ball of loveliness, but I don't know. You sometimes you need walls to just touch, I think. Like you see them and you're like, I'm sure I'm gonna find a use for that. And then I have another basket, if you give me a moment. Now these ones are like mostly standard, so I have a really bright red, again a sort of blue one. I tend to use the blues more, I think. I must have 100 of these. I think this is actually all together, but like burgundy colour. Again, I really like burgundy stuff and use a lot of it. This one I did really like. This is like a tweed one. Did you see all the colours mixed in? That's what I made my hat from. Again, like a kind of speckledy one. That's what the bird's wings were from. And then a few of these, like again, they're kind of multicoloured, but a bit thicker, like not sock yarn, but like you know, different colours and such as you go through. A navy blue, a slightly lighter blue, a somewhere in the middle blue, a very light blue, a grey, which again is something we might use, some glove yarn, but I'm really not very good at gloves, another gold one, another orange, a kind of foresty green, some purples, which is good. I hardly have any purpley colours, a different red to all my other reds, but I really like this red. It's like, I hold the two reds, God, I've got so much wool in my hands. Like this is really dark and just really like hearty, and I'm not a fan of this like really synthetic stuff, but it's not quite like the burgundy. And then a pink and a purple, which is kind of mixed up in it, and then this one, which is like, oh, I love this wool. It's like a burgundy, but it has like specks of blue and like gold through it. It's just gorgeous. Everything it makes is just amazing. And then this one, which I also really like, but it's a bit thin for my use. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with it yet, but again, it's like really like multicoloured stuff. There's so much wool. I have a fair amount of stuff that's just there. Like I think if you guys knit or if you craft, you know, whatever it is that you make and whatever it is that you work with, it just gathers, like you see it and you want it, and even if you don't have a use for it, you think you will. So hopefully for those of you who have sort of enjoyed my knitting videos before, this will be of interest to you. If you don't knit and you never have, then I'm sure this has been dull as dishwater. It's good fun, and you know, it's one of those things where it's really easy to just pick up and do, and you know, it's just a really low stress activity. I think that's what I use it for, is like de-stressing myself. But but you know, it's always fun to play around with wool. I always want more. I always see it and think, oh yeah, I want this kind and this kind and this kind. And I'm trying to convince myself I should only buy it when I have a project in mind, but it ends up working out the other way around. I was like, oh, what can I make with this? But yeah, let me know what you're working on down below if you are. I know a few people in my last video commented what they were on at that time, so let me know if you finished those off. Are you making anything for anyone for Christmas, even if it's not knitting? Do you like doing crafty stuff? If so, like, what's your craft of choice? And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Bye bye.